Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know do it every single time. Why? Because I want the people who want to be a part of this community to come on in and be a part of the best community, the best tribe on these internet streets. And I kid you not. And it's so simple. All you have to do is go down in your settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit the notification bell so you'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. Oh, I'm telling you, I'm gaining y'all. I am. Y'all are doing such a great job. And thank y'all for the thumbs ups. Also, I want to give a shout out and a big thank you to all of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Y'all always do a great job. You continue to do a great job. And I am so thankful because it helps so much. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, over in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member, and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I'll be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. And if you just want to do a one-time donation, look around down there, find that super thanks button and click it. And just know all donations to the channel is always, always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have some super thanks. And first up is Thoris R5G. Yes, Thoris came through, and I am thrilled and so happy that Thoris saw something in this channel and decided to support it. I mean, it is everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Thoris. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for riding with us. We are so happy that you are. And faithful, Eulette came through. Yes, she did. Eulette is everything. I don't know what I did to deserve Eulette, but boy, I'm so thankful and so grateful that she is a part of this community. She is forever supporting, and I appreciate her so very much. And Lorna McKinney came through. Yes, she did. Lorna came through. Lorna has been a ride or die. She has. She is always supporting. She's always coming through. She is the best of the best, and I appreciate her so very much. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Lorna. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, just thank you for being here. And Sabri Brew, yes, Sabri Brew decided to come through. Sabri is the best. She is. She has been with me for a while, and she is forever supporting. She is a ride or die. She is everything, and I'm so grateful that she is a part of this community. It is the better for her being here. And Honey Child came through. Yes, Honey Child came through. I love that name. I love it, Honey Child. I do. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for saying something in my channel. It means everything. I appreciate it so very much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being a part of this community. It means everything. And my girl Jennifer Clark came through. Yes, she did. Jennifer is everything. Jennifer is so faithful. She's a ride or die. She rides so hard for the read, and I am so grateful and so thankful that she is a part of this community. She makes it so much better because of her presence. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. All right, y'all, we're going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. want to give another quick shout out to Thoris R5G, Ulette, Lorna McKinney, Sabree Brew, Honey Child, and Jennifer Clark. Y'all are the best. Y'all are, and I appreciate you so very much for seeing something in the channel and always supporting. It just means everything. Y'all are the best, and I want you to know it. I do. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, they are still hot. They are smoking hot. I got so much good things to talk about. Well, not good for that family over there, but good for us squatties because we love the mess we do. At least I do. I can only speak for myself. But I love the mess. And that is the reason why I'm having such a good time talking about it on my podcast because I love the mess. And that family over there is one hot mess. And it's a lot going on. We're going to talk about a lot that's going on with that family. We're going to talk about Willy and his 3-day tour over there in Saudi Arabia. And it didn't go well. It did not go well at all. And we're going to talk about Earth Flop. Y'all remember when Tom Thumbhead Sykes wrote this article and he was quoting some of William's friends, and I'm going to put quotations around William's friends because we all know when Tom Thumbhead Sykes says William's friends, he's actually talking about William because we know William cries his cup of salty tears, and when it gets full, he heads over there to Tom Sykes, and Tom Sykes write an article. Well, I digress. The reason I'm saying that is this. In the article, Tom Sykes wrote that some of William's friends really felt like Harry mismanaged Cinnabale, and that was a big problem, that somehow Harry was a failure because he mismanaged Cinnabale. Y'all remember that? Well, looky. Earthflop looks like it has some problems now too. And you know what? Won't God do it? Won't he do it? Every time you dig a grave for someone, you might as well dig two because baby, you're going to need it. And look like Earthflop is going to need the extra grave. Yes, it looks like Earthflop has hit a bump in the road, and I just love it for them. I do, because they just reveled in the whole fact that Harry was having trouble when it came to Cinnabale, and we know why he was having trouble, because it was people who was conspiring against him to take his charity away from him. But you know what? God doesn't like ugly, and he ain't too fond of pretty either. And we know that he had a role in that whole shabacle that went down with Cinnabale. And now Earthflop has its own trouble. And I just love it. So we're going to talk about that. And we have some other stuff too that we want to talk about, like that Charles is supposed to be upset that J.E. was using Buckingham Palace as a... I don't want to say it, but like I said, they have changed the name from Buckingham Palace to Effingham Palace. And the same staff that just had such a problem with Meghan. I mean, they thought she was a bully, she was this, and they reported all of that about Meghan, but had no problem with J.E. being up in there. He was already convicted several years back, and he was in and out of Buckingham Palace just like he owned the place. And the staff was catering to him like he was the king. I kid you not. So we're going to talk about that as well. And we're going to talk about Beatrice and Eugenie. Look like some stuff has come out on them now. I think Willy maybe was right. You know, he wanted to cut them off. He did. He wanted to get them out cut them out, and Charles decided to not do that, to absolutely get Andrew and Sarah out, but not the two girls, not the two princesses. Well, maybe he made a mistake because there's some stuff coming out on that end too, and we're going to talk about that. We just have a lot to talk about, and y'all know I always have some more tidbits, and also it's some polls that come out. Yes, and they are not the burial polls, but they are polls that are actually look like they want to tell the truth about that family. I'm just saying, we got a lot to talk about. So let's get started. I'm going to put this up first. Oh, we're going to have so much fun. Listen, y'all, I'm not going to keep you long, but I promise you I'm going to keep you entertained. I'm going to put this up. And look at this, y'all. It says breaking news. The DOJ has disclosed JE correspondence that includes two girls being unalived during rough sex buried on a golf course. Now, wonder what golf course that could be. The one that shall not be named has several of those golf courses. I'm just saying. And it says the FBI wants to talk to Prince Andrew, and bodies were discovered on royal estates. Arthur Andrew Lowry leaves our friend at IROMG speechless at the satanic revelations which the DOJ have uncovered and the FBI are currently working on in relations to Prince Andrew, JE, and a demonic horde of political and global elites. Y'all, this is not going away. It is so much going to get uncovered during this whole release of these JE files. It was something so sinister going on in this world in which we were living, and we had no awareness of it. I mean, these elite people, these captains of industry, were participating in satanic behavior that is just absolutely mind boggling. We cannot even get our heads around what these people were up to and doing. I'm going to play this clip of Andrew Lowry, and it's mind blowing. Y'all know how I feel about Andrew Lowry. But like I said, the last time I played a clip by him and his whole prediction about something was going to come out, and it did. It did. And it was about Andrew was passing on government information on to JE. Classified government information. He was giving it to JE, and that was the big story that was going to come out, that Andrew Lowry was referring to. That he could not say anything about it at that time, but it happened. And that's the reason why I said Andrew Lowry, he lied on Harry. Yes, he did, but even a broke clock is right twice a day. And he was right. The last time he was right. So I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to play this clip and we'll talk on the other side.
Fascinating stuff. So in your view, there's so much more that could be being written by the press, but which is not being written despite the availability of information. Are you saying they're frightened of being sued? Are they frightened of upsetting people? What's the story?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of material to go through, 3 million pages. I mean, there's a lot of work being done by, in effect, citizen journalists on Substack. There's a lot of stuff in people's podcasts, for example. I had lots of stories about satanic rites and all sorts of things that I was given, and I didn't believe them. I discarded them. But we're now seeing stories of for example, two girls who may have been killed in rough sex buried on a golf course. I understand Surrey police have approached the FBI about a story connected with Prince Andrew. There's bodies being found on royal estates. So this is getting darker and darker, and it seems that what people are telling me may have some truth about it, because this is about 4 or 5 different people.
Wow. Well, I'm literally speechless at this point.
And what I can't understand about this is that there are so many different conspiracy stories, true stories involving the premier family of our land, that actually, what my suspicion is that journalists have become bored by it. It took 4 years of your life to put this book together. And I get the impression that most journalists today are being spoon-fed this stuff and therefore can't be bothered to spend 4 minutes looking at it. Is that your view?
Yes, I'm journalism around, but people are very lazy, and this is true about royal coverage generally. People don't do the legwork. I talked to 300 people, approached 3,000 people, and have, I only used about 1/10 of my material. Poor journalists don't have the time to do this sort of research, but they are being spoon-fed stuff. I've got a lot of stuff in my book, which still hasn't been covered in the press. Andrew's mistress in Mayfair, the mistress, Sonia Cooling, the Thai that he took on with him to Thailand. So there's lots of stuff that actually is in the public domain and hasn't even been covered.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew. It's great journey.
And this squatty said, current state of the crisis manager at 9 a.m. It is absolutely true. Did you hear what he said? And what he said was absolutely true about how they are afraid to report on the stuff that's already in the public realm. They don't want to even report on that. And we know that we have been discussing a lot of this on the podcast, talking about the trap door that leads to the sea. Yeah, and the girl that was found on Sandringham property. Yes, they ain't said nothing about that. And just so much more stuff that they refuse to report on because they are just useless. They are useless. Just like he said, they're spoon-fed everything. They are lazy and they are terrified or act like they're afraid. I don't know. I have never saw journalists who have the story of the century. Right there at their fingertips, and they do nothing about it. And one of the biggest story is that scar upside of Kate's head. Nobody is talking about that. It is plenty of stuff that these flying monkeys spend their time attacking Harry and Meghan, who is 5,000 miles away, writing article after article after article. And all of this is right there for them to report on, but they refuse to do it. And we all know why. We know why, because it is an agenda. They're not journalists. They're PR arms of the palaces. That's all they are. And he is calling them out. And did you hear the part about all the satanic things that he discovered while he was doing the book? And he did not even believe it. And now it's coming out in the JE files that all of that was true. I'm telling you, this family has a lot to be held accountable for. And I know a lot of people say that this family, this monarchy will not fall. But it's looking more and more shaky as time goes by. So I understand why the crisis manager has a huge glass of alcohol at 9 a.m. in the morning, because she really needs it. And as people continue to comb through these JE files and more drops come, I'm telling you, she might have to order her alcohol by the case. I'm just saying. And it's this part for me. This squatty speaks on exactly what I just can't hardly get my head around. This squatty said, wow, the DOJ has disclosed JE correspondence that includes two girls being unalive during rough sex, buried on a golf course. The FBI wants to talk to Prince Andrew, and bodies were discovered on royal estates. JE files, the royals are finished. I cannot even get my head around that. Y'all tell me what y'all think. It is crazy to me that these people was participating in this kind of nonsense and has such disregard for human life. It is mind blowing. My mind is blown. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but that is the reason why I really feel that they're going to give Andrew up. It is no saving themselves if they include Andrew. It's just not going to be able to happen. And we all know self preservation is the number one thing for that family. They always want to save themselves. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but it is so hard for me to get my head around this. I mean, it's hard. It really is to even imagine these kind of people with such little regard for human life actually exist at the upper echelon of society. These are not street people. These are the people at the tippy top doing all of this sadistic, just absolutely horrific things to other people. Ooh, mind blowing. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm going to put this up, and this is another reason why I think Andrew is going to jail. It says Prince Andrew sent more confidential documents linked to his work as UK trade envoy to JE. Newly released documents show. Wowza, I bet he was sending more and more. It's going to be huge. Let's see what excuse they will find not to prosecute him. He was practically leaking to JE frequently. The king's brother being a traitor. Who knows what more will come out? Exactly. Exactly. One of our readers, Lorna, who is so smart and knows so much more than I do, she made a great point in the comments. She said that Andrew has diplomatic immunity. And because of that, they will not be able to arrest him unless Parliament does something to revoke his status. I don't see how they can get around it, to be honest. To be shown that this man was actually passing on confidential information to JE in order for him to use it to profit from, I don't see why that wouldn't be grounds to revoke it, because that is nothing but criminality. We'll have to see. But yes, this is what's going on. Y'all, everything that is coming out is mind blowing. My mind is blown every time I hit these internet streets. I'm telling you, it is just crazy out here. And look at this. This is crazy too. Now, y'all tell me what y'all think of this. Chris Ship posted this. It says breaking at Thames BP, who are reviewing the JE files over claims of misconduct in public office concerning Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, says they have now spoken to prosecutors. Statement: we have engaged in discussions with specialist Crown prosecutors from the CPS. We will provide updates as and when they are available, but at this stage, it would be inappropriate to discuss further specifics of this work. What do y'all think about that? See, that's why I kept saying, I don't know. He might actually get arrested. Because one thing about Charles, that family, they are going to save themselves. Just like I said earlier, the crown matters more than one individual. They are fighting for their lives right now, and they are trying to save the crown. They will throw Andrew overboard. They will throw him to the wolves. They will let the wolves have him if that means that they can save the crown. So we're going to have to watch that. Get your popcorn, get your wine. And these are some of the responses that were posted under this comment. And this person says, I am not holding my breath that anything will come of this. The super rich always evades justice. As we know, the police are just as corrupt. It'll just be another, and then they posted this meme of someone sweeping dirt under the rug. And I think that's a possibility. It is. It might get swept under the rug, but it's hard for me to believe how they're going to manage to sweep this under the rug. It is so much coming out that I don't know. The rug can't cover this one up. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but if you think it's going to be swept under the rug or not, but I don't think so. And then this other person said, another day now, I'm expecting to hear Andrew has done a midnight flight to a country without extradition. Now, do y'all think that that's a possibility? Do you think they could get away with that? I don't even think they could get away with that, to be honest. It is just too much damning evidence that even if he went to another country that wouldn't extradite him, it still would not work. It would not work because, like I said, it's just too much. But y'all know what my thoughts on this is, and that is that he is going to get Diana. Yes, something like that is going to happen. The horse is going to throw him and he's going to hit his head or something. Something is going to happen to him. And it could be that they would say it was done at his own hand. So that is what I'm thinking. Y'all tell me what y'all think, because I don't think going to another country is going to solve this one for Andrew. I really don't, because they're going to feed him to the wolves if he stays in the UK, because the crown has to survive. And I'm going to put this up because this squatty right here makes such an excellent point. She says, just know Prince William is no innocent here. As King Charles' heir, he is privy to the same info as his father. I have said this. He absolutely knew. He was privy to the JE files the same as his father. So they knew who Andrew was. But yet and still, he always chose Andrew over his brother. He did. Even when the queen was dying, he chose Andrew to go on the plane. He chose Andrew to drive in the car into the compound at Balmoral to go see the queen. They were all together. Harry had to make his way up there the best he could to see his dying grandmother. William chose Andrew. We can never let him forget that. And it goes on to say, there was no deeply concerned statement, even though he knew the extent of Andrew's involvement with JE. He knew some donors to his charity had direct ties to JE. And we're going to talk about that. Yes, direct ties. Some of his donors had direct ties to JE. And we're talking about donors to Earthlock. And this particular squatty is posting about exactly that. It says, here's Prince William, the deeply concerned one, pictured with the £1 million Earthlock founding partner whose name appeared in unsealed JE court filings, alleged torture video, and another email referencing Moldovan Ukrainian girls sent to him by JE. Same man also photographed with JE. Yes, there he is right there with JE, the same man who put in £1 million for Earthlock. There he is with JE. And it has come out. He even talked about how he enjoyed a torture video of young girls. Yes, that is who is a founding member of Earthlock. Yes, Harry didn't have nothing like that at Cinnabale, but yet and still they did nothing but ridicule him because he mistakenly made this woman the chairman of the board, and she was a plant. That's what Harry did. He trusted too much. But this man right here has actively sought out a man who has ties with JE and has participated in some of the nonsense because it's clear in the emails that he did so. But yet and still, ain't nobody really writing about it. Ain't nobody really saying anything about it. If it had been Harry, it would be ringing from Big Ben. They absolutely would have climbed up Big Ben and rung the bells and made sure everyone knew about it. And this popped up is from the National. It says new Prince William's Earthlock Prize charity has been reported to the UK's charity watchdog following fresh JE Files revelations. Ooh, ooh, wah, wah. Look like Earthlock has a bit of a bumpy time ahead. Now, we all know they're not going to do anything. They didn't do anything when it came to Cinnabale. And if anything needed something done about it, it was what happened with Cinnabale. So we are not expecting much from them. But boy, it looks good in print, doesn't it? It really does. And this is from Graham Smith. He is the one that reported it. I love it. He said, my report simply raised an obvious question that the commission needs to find answers to. And what he's talking about is how one of the founding members of Earthlock is caught up in this JE mess. Yes, how he has been named in these files. And so he is saying that this man is unfit to be a part of a charity and it needs to be looked into. I love Graham Smith. He absolutely means exactly what he says. He does not want a monarchy. And he jumped right on this one, didn't he? I love it. And of course, here comes Chris Ship again. He's reporting on this. He said, we have contacted at the Charity Commission about this Earthlock referral by Republic staff. Commission said we are aware of concerns about sources of funding for the Earthlock Prize. We are assessing this information to determine the next step and if there is a role for the commission. Well, if it's not a role for the commission, what are you good for? But we all know you have been proven to not be good for nothing because we remember exactly what went down when it came to Cinnabale. And this is what the Republic said. It says Williams Earthlock project has been reported to the Charity Commission after it was found that JE emailed the CEO of a company that donated to the project saying, I love the torture video. Hashtag abolish the monarchy. Hashtag JE. I love it, y'all. I love it. And a squatty came up under that Chris Ship post and said, for years, the royal rotor tried to gaslight the public, selling the false narrative that Prince William is clean. You ignore the fact that William's name is all over the JE files. William even took a evil Sutton of torture to the Queen's residence where J.E. thought it was fun. Don't tell me the one who got the torture video was all up in Effingham Palace. No, don't tell me that. But that's exactly what the emails say. And I'm going to put this up. And this is a repost of what William said in 2023. It says September 2023. Earthflop Summit. It says Prince William told the audience, if I can reach more investors and people can see it isn't a philanthropic thing, we're not doing this to be more philanthropic. We are doing this because the vast majority of these solutions are commercially viable. So he's saying that Earthflop is about money, making money. And I want to really emphasize what this squatty who reposted what he said, because she said something I didn't know anything about this. I did not know that Earthflop worked like this. Y'all tell me if y'all knew. I'm going to read it. It says, maybe you should also ask them to define charity. William only gives prizes to people whose ideas are making a profit. It is given in 3 installments, and installment 2 and 3 is only given if they continue to make a profit. Who knew? They have to continue to be making a profit to get installment 2 and 3. Did y'all know that? I thought once you won Earthflop, that you won Earthflop. I knew that they gave it in 3 installments, but I did not know that one of the requirements were that you had to first be making a profit to win Earthflop. And in order to get the 2nd and 3rd installment, you had to continue to make a profit. What? I thought once you won Earthflop, you won Earthflop. This is so crazy. Y'all tell me if y'all knew this. And he clearly said that this was not about philanthropy. It wasn't a philanthropic thing. It was a vast majority of these solutions are commercially viable. It's about the profit. Who knew? Who knew? It's not a charity, but he is taking in money like it's a charity. And we all know he only gives a fraction of the money to the prize winners. I don't know if you could even call them prize winners anymore, because is it really a prize if you have to continue to work for it? That's crazy to me. And here's some of the comments about Earthflop being reported to the Charity Commission. This person says, I am sure that they will find nothing wrong as the royals are exempt from wrongdoing. His father accepted money from the Middle East in a duffel bag for his charity, and the Charity Commission found nothing wrong with it. The commission is corrupt when it comes to the royal family. Where is the lie? Where is it? Because we all know they put their thumb on the scale when it came to Cinnabale. If anybody should have been taken out of their position, it should have been Sophie Chanduka. But they left her in place. And I believe it's because that family wanted her to stay there, to try to punish Harry in some form or fashion. So yes, this charity commission is totally corrupt. I don't expect anything to come out of it. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I agree with this person completely. And the next person said, this family used charity and public service to launder and also avoid taxes. I don't have hope that the Charity Commission will investigate, though. They are useless as Ofcom is about GB News. All protect each other. Exactly. Exactly. I don't expect nothing from this toothless tiger of an agency. Of course not. Nothing is going to come of it. And the last one said, I wonder how many bags were full of cash on his way back. Exactly. I bet that plane is weighted down in the tail section, full of cash that he is bringing back to Earthlock. And the Charity Commission is not going to do anything about it. I'm just saying. And this squatty said, unfortunately, you have the wrong brother tied to this. Had it been the other one, it would have been breaking news with all the TV shows hosting royal reporters and journalists to talk about how he should be removed from said charity. Where is the lie? Where is it? We all know how they behave about Cinnabale. And they knew that that had nothing to do with Harry. This woman was corrupt. She was taking money. They knew that she was absolutely bleeding Cinnabale dry, just absolutely emptying the coffers of this wonderful and beautiful charity that Harry had created for his mother. And they was so sadistic and so evil, and they wrote article after article after article, but yet and still, look at this, we get barely a peep from them when it comes to what's going on in Earthlock, taking money from someone who has a primary role in JE files, but yet and still not a peep. And we all know that the Charity Commission is not going to do anything. But if it was Harry, you best believe they would shut it down. And this squatter reposted that post from Graham Smith and said, where are the derangers and the royal reporters who celebrated when the witch sabotaged hashtag Cinnabale? The ancestor said, relax and give us time. Hashtag karma. Exactly. That's exactly what this is. And it is showing Earthflop to be exactly what it is, a flop. I love it. And Kaiser wrote this article, and it's titled, Prince William's Earthflop takes $1 million from a close associate of JE. And there's the picture. Yes, he has his hands all in this, and his name is all up in the JE files. And it says Prince William has some explaining to do. He took £1 million from an Arab associate who told JE that he loved the torture video, presumably of young girls. The rot does not stop with Andrew. That point right there is the reason why I use this in the podcast, because the rot does not stop with Andrew. The rot goes completely to the bone. It does. And they can pretend like that is not true, but we all know it is. It is rot to the bone. And I'm going to put this up because it looks like Willy's 3-day tour hadn't gone down that well. This article said, why sending Prince William to Saudi Arabia is mind-boggling mistake for the royals. And they're saying because they're caught up in this stuff too. If you want people to forget about it, why are you sending him to a place where it is so much of the rot over there as well? This squatty said, let's get this straight. Prince William flew all the way to Saudi Arabia to be photographed with a man whose name is all over the JE files and who is linked to the unaliving of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi. What a colossal train wreck. Exactly. And there he is, standing on the train tracks of the train wreck. I mean, right there with this man. I mean, how did they really think this was going to go down? Did they not think people were going to say something about it? They're in the JE files as well. I cannot. The stupidity is just staggering. And this squatty said, I didn't think the royal family could do worse than William and Kate on their Caribbean tour. I was so wrong. Since Queen Elizabeth's passing and Harry and Meghan leaving, they're a mess. They are. I mean, they cannot figure their way out of a wet paper bag. What is this crisis manager doing? I mean, it makes no sense. Why would you send him over there? And all of these people that are going to be surrounding him are in the JE files who have contributed to Earthlock. People are going to call that out. It's crazy to me. I bet Kitty is so happy that she stayed at home. I bet she is so glad that William did not want her to go because he cannot make it about her. It's all on him. We all know that he has an inability to accept responsibility, especially for failure. So you know if she had went, oh yeah, she was going to be the scapegoat. She was absolutely going straight under the bus. Kitty missed this one. She did. She missed it. And this squatty said Peggy was never the brightest bulb in the room. He was clearly set up by the Foreign Office to take the heat off of Keir Starmer and Mendelssohn's scandals, or else they would have canceled the tour. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think he was set up? I tell you, it definitely looks like it's a possibility. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this theory. Because this definitely makes you think, doesn't it? I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. This was an article that was written in iNews by Richard Palmer. And you know he's a flying monkey, and he kind of sides with Charles. And this is what he posted. He said, for those asking what Andrew and J.E. has to do with Prince William, he has been consulted at every stage of the King's public response to the scandal. Not least that it's likely that he'll still be dealing with the fallout during his reign. What do y'all think about that? Pretty much throwing William under the bus. Yes. I don't know. Y'all think maybe this is something coming from Effingham Palace? Every time I say that, I have to cackle because it's so true. It's so messy. But I digress. It really sounds like it's coming from Charles. He didn't want to take all the blame. He don't. And I'm going to put this up. Look what's trending. Earthshot prize under review over JE Link donor. Ouch. And it says Prince William completes Saudi visit amidst JE controversy. And it says Sarah Ferguson plan return to UK amidst JE scrutiny and money worries. And then last but not least, bringing up the rear would be Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Oh my goodness, that whole house of Windsor is on fire and nobody has any water. This squatty said, trending for me. Yes, it's a trending for me as well. That is a wonderful, wonderful sight. I'm telling you, people are just talking about this family that is ablaze. It is ablaze now. And more revelations about Sarah Ferguson. This particular squatty posted about it, and it says more embarrassing emails about Fergie. J.E. and Mendelsohn discuss whether Fergie should admit her medication abuse and go into rehab. Wow. I'm telling you, it is just revelation after revelation. It says J.E. seems to have been fully invested to both the royal family life and British politics. I am the only one thinking J.E. was definitely having dinner with all the royals when he was visiting Andrew in Balmoral or Effingham Palace. I think so too. I really think that he was immersed in this family. And at least that's what the emails are showing. All of these royals are so immoral. All of this happened after J.E.'s conviction. And he was all up in Effingham Palace, effing around. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but it is unbelievable. And it also is saying that Sarah Ferguson has a drug problem. And it sounds like a prescription drug problem. What y'all think about that? And I'm going to put this one up. And this is an article, I think that was in the Scum. And the title of it is I Need Money Exclusive. Fergie has been in the UAE and is plotting a comeback as she tells friends, I need money. A comeback? Do this woman think she can come back from this? Is she that delusional? This squatty posted this and said Sarah Ferguson was in the Alps skiing and now is in the UAE. She needs money and is confident that she will be making a comeback. Her daughters, who not only knew about JE and remained silent all these years, are keep supporting her. What a great family. Amazing ethics, zero accountability, no dignity, money grabbing vultures. Where is the lie? Where is it? She's supposed to be broke, but she's skiing in the Alps and now she's in the UAE living it up off the kindness of strangers. This woman is so pathetic. Can you imagine being this kind of human being? I mean, she has pimped out her daughters and everything. She has no low. She is not willing to go. Look how she was groveling to J.E., asking him to marry her. Okay, I mean, just sickening. Sickening. It is not a low she won't go. How she looks in the mirror and be okay with the person looking back is beyond me at this point. And this particular squatty posted this article that said Sarah Ferguson makes astonishing 10-word comeback vow to friends after Andrew nightmare. Sarah Ferguson has openly told friends, I need to get back to work. I need money, as she plans a comeback following Prince Andrew's exit from Royal Lodge. This woman actually thinks she can make a comeback. And this squatty that posted this said, I thought she was a successful children book author. Moreover, didn't she just sell a house? That's what I'm saying. She got some money somewhere. She ain't completely broke, but we all know she is notorious for being a spendthrift and being a poor money manager. So she might not have any. She maybe need to get to work, but I don't know who and what and where she thinks she's gonna work. But this particular squatter says she know exactly where Fergie is gonna be and where she's gonna work. This squatty said Fergie is going on OnlyFans. Mark my words. All the scheming and scamming and fraud, and her R still has no money. She pimped her own kids out for F's sake. Yes, this particular squatty thinks Sarah Ferguson is going to land on her feet like a cat over there on OnlyFans. That she has 9 lives and she got several more to live like a cat, and she's gonna be over there on OnlyFans. Y'all tell me what y'all think of this. I'm gonna say this. I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm gonna put this up. This was in the Daily Fail, and as you can see, it is about Beatrice. It says files reveal that Princess Beatrice advised Fergie on JE backtrack. Yeah, she was telling her mother that she needs to backtrack on, her association with JE and how to do it. I never, ever, ever had anything for Beatrice. Now, Eugenie, I always thought she was a good person until she kind of turned on Harry and Meghan. And she did. She turned on them because she chose the crown over them. And now look what that has gotten her. But I digress. Yes, this was in the fail. And this squatter that posted it said this: Beatrice has always been sketchy, and now her name is coming up, and not in a good way. She knew what JE was charged with and helped her mother figure out how to backtrack on Sarah's public comments of JE being a pedo. Beatrice also believed that JE served his time. And I'm going to put this up. Feminagra wrote about it as well and said emails show that Sarah Ferguson and Princess Beatrice discussed softening how JE was described in the press, raising questions about what Beatrice knew and making later claims of surprise harder to accept. Yes, they act like they didn't know nothing. Her and Eugenie just didn't know nothing. Yes, they knew everything, and especially Beatrice. I'm just saying. And the squatty that posted this said, remember that Princess Beatrice was with Prince Andrew during the infamous JE interview where he told the world he doesn't sweat. Exactly. And I believe this is self-serving for Beatrice. This is my thoughts on it. I really feel she loves being a princess. She loves all of the trappings that goes along with royalty. And I'm telling you, if it gets taken away, it is going to be devastating to her. Now, it's said, this is the word on the curb, that she does nothing but cry and stay in the bed already. That she is devastated by this. And she is crying and staying in the bed, not because of her mama, not because of her daddy, but what she has to lose. And that social climbing husband of hers is going to leave her as quickly as he can. I am looking at the second hand of my watch, waiting for that to go down, because he married her because of who she was. And when she is not who she is anymore, he is going to be out of there. All right, I said it first. I'm putting it out there. We're going to see how it unfolds. And this squatty said Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie were both involved with JE. They were told, likely paid, to give tours of royal residence to models for JE and Andrew. They were in their 20s. They were involved. I do not want to hear one more word about the girls are innocent. They were adults. Time for consequences. I really believe that they are not going to come out of this very well. I don't. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I really, really don't. And that part where they were giving tours, yes, getting paid by JE to give tours of the royal residence. Woo, that's damning. It is. And this squatty said, I never loved Beatrice. Remember how she was cozying with Piers Morgan despite all of the bad things he said about Harry and Meghan with those big eyes and big teeth looking like a vampire. She has always been so fake and shady and opportunist. Where is the lie? She never seemed genuine to me, and she always seemed so, I don't know, just really standoffish. And y'all remember how she behaved at Harry and Meghan's wedding? Yes, her and Zara and Kate. They really thought that they were really something back then, huh? Oh, how the worm has turned. Looking around, giggling, laughing. She was participating in that nonsense. And now look what has come to pass. She is not on a high horse anymore. She has been found out, and it's not good for Beatrice. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up because this is an article from The Economist talking about how King Charles is just not happy. He is furious because his royal staff is in the JE files. And in it, they are talking about how the royal staff is just catering to JE. I mean, running around and making everything special. The same staff who could not stand Meghan said Meghan bullied them, but yet it still was perfectly happy to serve a pedo. And I'm not saying they didn't know because he was a convicted pedo at the time. This is what The Economist said. It says King Charles is feeling the fury. Royal staff are sprinkled throughout the files, facilitating meetings between J.E. and his entourage years after his conviction. Yes, that's in the J.E. files as well. And this particular squatty that posted this said, royal staff and close aides of the royal family are all over the JE files, facilitating JE and his trafficking sexual predator scheme. They all knew. They had no issues with the pedos. They helped them, they facilitated him, and the British press knew too, and all of them covered it up. Yes, absolutely they did. Every one of them. And now they want to try to act brand new. All of those flying monkeys are just acting so brand new. They just didn't know anything about it. It's so bad. It's so horrible. They knew the whole time. And this squatty reposted that same article and said the institution was focused on making Meghan's life a misery while his aides was scheduling orgies and apes at, I want to say it, I got to say it, Effingham Palace, and using his iron shoelaces for degenerate purpose. Yes, all this was going on up there at Effingham Palace, but yet and still, Meghan was the problem. She was the bully. She was the one that they didn't want to have anything to do with. She was awful. People had to go to therapy because of her. But nothing happened when all of this was going on. Okay, you didn't have any kind of mental, I don't know, problems with all of this going on, but a woman who absolutely asked you to do a little work and send some emails, y'all almost had to go into therapy about it. This is bullshit. They absolutely have been shown up for the bullshites. They have absolutely have no credibility from this point on. I love it. And I want to put this up. This squatty posted this poll that Jeremy Vine had posted on X. And this is what it said. It says, do you support the royal family? Polling suggests that the monarchy is losing popularity following the J.E. Files scandal. The majority of Brits think senior royals should have done more to condemn Andrew, but we want to know what you think. And as you can see, 26% say they support the monarchy, but 74% say they don't support them. And that is a Jeremy Vine online poll, which is always rigged. This squatty that posted it said, you don't even have to go far. How about home ground? Ouch. It says, I love it for them. The nonsensical, frivolous smear and hate campaign they orchestrated against Harry and Meghan these last 8 to 9 years finally paid off with interest. Yeah, it paid off in a backfire. The blowback has been devastating and they have been exposed. Karma just keeps showing up and kissing them right in the mouth. And look at this, y'all, a new YouGov poll. A YouGov poll, and it says 51% of Britons believe senior royals should have done more to condemn Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's relationship with J.E. as King Charles is again heckled over the scandal. Should have condemned Andrew more, 51%. Have taken right approach, 32%. Should have defended Andrew more, 2%. Yes, 51% think that they are not handling it very well. It should be 99.9 in my opinion. But this squatty that posted this said, for those who are aware of how the royal family does things, their reactive way have become a pattern. It seems they got wind of the YouGov poll yesterday before its publication. Hence the performative statements. However, in both palaces, words none of them condemned Andrew and his contribution. That tells a bigger story than anything, and that continues to show he is still protected and viewed as a victim of JE. If you want to know how protected he is, watch the news reports on how they emphasize Andrew's denial of the allegations, and being in the JE files doesn't equate to wrongdoing. Even after the emails, the photos, the media is still adding those words. P.S. Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, is still eighth in line in the line of succession, and he's still very much a counselor of state. Woo! All right now. Ain't none of that changed. It hadn't. So maybe he is protected. But I am thinking the only way they can get out of this is he is Diana. I am still on that prediction. I do, because this is not going away and it's getting worse and worse and worse every day. And I don't see where them saying what they have said so far is going to be enough. I don't. I really think that these people are in trouble. And when YouGov comes out with a poll like this, you know, we all know that YouGov is in the bag for that family over there. So I don't know. It is a hard call, but if I had to call it, I would say that he will be sacrificed for the crown. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I know I have kept y'all longer than I anticipated, but it is just so much, y'all. It is so much. But I want to put this up because this is nothing but the truth. This squatty posted this and said, if only the British media had done their job 10 to 6 years ago which would have forced the royal family to act on Andrew instead of smearing a woman they deemed unroyal. Where is the lie? If they hadn't have focused on Meghan, using her and Harry as scapegoats, and actually did their jobs and reported the facts, and they know what the facts were the whole time, then they would not be in the position that they're in, playing like everything is brand new when everyone knows that they knew along with everybody in that family. I'm just saying. And this is my last slide. I had to put it up. It says it turns out that Harry and Meghan were the ones who was too good for the royal family. Now tell me that is nothing but the truth. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.